Have you ever felt like something invisible is holding you back? Like no matter how hard you try, something always stands in the way of your dreams? What if I told you there's an ancient prayer, almost forgotten by time, that has the power to shift your entire reality? Yes, a sacred string of words passed down through whispers, hidden in the shadows of ancient texts, guarded by mystics, sages, and monks. A prayer so powerful, it was once used by those believed to possess divine connection. A prayer many say still works today, bringing healing, protection, success, and sudden breakthroughs. What if this prayer has been waiting for you? In this video, you'll discover the true story behind this mysterious ancient prayer. You'll hear how it was used by those who performed real miracles, stories buried beneath time, but now resurfacing. We'll explore how some of the most extraordinary people in history called upon this sacred formula, and why you've probably never heard of it before. But this is not just about history. It's about activation. You will learn how to use this prayer in your own life. How to speak it, when to speak it, and most importantly, how to believe in it. It's not something you chant mindlessly. It's not a ritual passed around on the internet. This is a powerful spiritual tool that demands your presence, your sincerity, and your full attention. Why should you watch till the end? Because the moment you hear the full prayer, delivered just the way it was meant to be heard, something inside you will shift. You'll understand why so many people, even today, say this prayer has changed their lives overnight. And you'll know exactly how to begin using it yourself. If you're someone who feels drawn to the hidden, the sacred, and the mysterious forces of the universe, you're in the right place. This isn't just a video. It's an opening. A key to something far greater than what you see with your eyes. Welcome to Bright Mind Within. The place where ancient wisdom meets modern transformation. If you're ready to unlock your potential and dive deeper into the unseen truths of this world, make sure to subscribe. There's much more ahead. But for now, stay with me. What you're about to hear could truly change everything. Since the beginning of time, people have turned to prayer in moments of fear, uncertainty, and hope. In every ancient culture, whether in deserts, temples, or mountaintops, there were whispered words believed to reach beyond the physical world. These weren't ordinary prayers. They were sacred. Often hidden, passed down quietly from master to disciple, generation after generation. Among the most mysterious stories is that of Hanina ben Dosa, a humble yet powerful figure from ancient Israel. He wasn't a king or a prophet, yet his prayers were said to work like lightning. When others failed, they would turn to him. And without theatrics or rituals, he would speak to the divine, and miracles would follow. Sick children healed. Rain fell. After drought. Even dangerous animals would walk away without harming him. Not because of who he was, but because of how he prayed. What made his prayers different? Hanina didn't beg. He didn't perform long ceremonies. Instead, he prayed with unshakable belief, as if the answer had already arrived. That faith, that connection, is what gave his words power. And while his name may be forgotten by many today, his method is not. Ancient texts hint at prayers used by those like him. Prayers rooted in complete trust. Some are hidden in plain sight, like Psalm 91, known as the soldier's shield. Others are buried deeper, in the folds of sacred books and oral traditions. People who have used them report sudden healing, unexpected financial help, peace during chaos, and impossible solutions appearing out of nowhere. These are not ordinary prayers. They're tools of transformation, coded with meaning and intention. And now, after centuries of silence, one such prayer is resurfacing. You're about to hear a prayer that's been hidden, but still works. In the ancient world, prayer wasn't just a religious act. It was seen as a direct connection to the unseen, a bridge between the human and the divine. Sages, saints, and mystics from all corners of the earth believed in the power of spoken words. But not just any words. Sacred phrases. Secret utterances. Words believed to carry divine energy, able to move mountains, heal bodies, and protect souls. The early church fathers, those who laid the foundation of Christian thought, often wrote about the miracle-working power of prayer. Men like Augustine, Ignatius, and Origen didn't just talk about faith, they experienced moments that defied logic. They described visions, spontaneous healing, and sudden reversals of fate. Not from human effort, but through the focused, sincere act of prayer. One story tells of a man who, on the edge of death, was prayed over by a group of early believers. They didn't panic. They didn't plead. They prayed with confidence, and the man recovered, completely and immediately. For them, prayer was never a wish. It was a force. Many of these prayers weren't shared openly. Some were spoken only in silence. Others were written in lost languages, passed from teacher to student in the secrecy of candlelit chambers. Why so secret? Because not all power is meant for casual use. The most potent prayers were guarded, hidden from the unready, protected by the wise. In monasteries, caves, and sacred circles, these prayers were preserved. Some made it into scripture. Others were left behind, waiting for the right moment in history to reappear. And while many were forgotten, the energy behind them never died. The truth is, some of the most powerful prayers ever spoken were never published. They were passed down quietly. Whispered. Protected. Until now. There is one prayer that has remained buried beneath centuries of spiritual tradition. It's called the Genesis Prayer. Ancient mystics believed it was one of the most powerful spiritual tools ever created. Unlike long chants or complicated rituals, this prayer is built on something incredibly simple, pure faith and divine timing. The Genesis Prayer is said to be rooted in the very first verses of the book of Genesis. The opening lines of creation are more than just a story, they are believed to carry a hidden vibration, a divine code. Sages, particularly within Jewish mysticism, saw these lines as more than text. They were instructions. A formula. A direct link to the Creator's original energy, the same energy that shaped the universe. This prayer was not meant to be recited endlessly. It wasn't for show. It was meant to be felt. Spoken slowly. Quietly. From the heart. The Genesis Prayer invites you to ask, but only with deep trust. Not the trust of a desperate mind, but of a soul that knows the answer is already forming in the unseen. Key to this prayer is surrender. You ask, and then you let go. You don't chase the outcome. You align with it. That's why those who have used it throughout history often describe sudden results that feel effortless. Money appearing unexpectedly. Health restored without explanation. Protection from harm without even realizing there was danger. What makes the Genesis Prayer so different is its simplicity. There's no need to convince the universe. You just need to believe. That purity of intention, when combined with the sacred structure of the prayer, is what gives it its power. It is not about repetition. It is about alignment. And for those who understand it, the Genesis Prayer is more than words. It's a key. Stories of miraculous healing through prayer are found across time, across faiths, and across continents. One of the most fascinating examples comes from ancient Israel, where Hanina ben Dosa, a simple yet deeply spiritual man, was known for his ability to call upon the divine and receive immediate answers. He was not a wealthy man, nor did he hold any high religious office. But his prayers carried weight, real, visible power. In one story, the son of a well-known rabbi fell dangerously ill. Doctors could do nothing. Hope was slipping away. But when Hanina prayed, the child recovered almost instantly. No long ceremonies. No conditions. Just quiet words spoken with full belief. Others started noticing. Whenever someone was in desperate need, they turned to Hanina, not because he was louder, but because he believed deeper. Centuries later, another man would rise with a similar reputation. Padre Pio, a Catholic priest in Italy, became known for miracles that stunned the world. He often spoke of a special prayer he used, a spiritual weapon he believed no force could resist. Thousands reported healing after reciting it. People claim tumors disappeared, illnesses reversed, depression lifted, all after whispering the words with faith. He didn't promise instant results. But he taught that pure, trusting prayer always reaches heaven. Even today, testimonies from all over the world pour in. People speak of impossible things becoming possible. Bills paid just in time. Doctors baffled by sudden recoveries. Job offers showing up out of nowhere. All after one sincere moment of prayer. These aren't just stories from saints or prophets. They're from everyday people. People who closed their eyes, spoke from the heart, and believed, if only for a moment, that something greater was listening. And in that moment, everything began to shift. Now, it's time to hear the prayer itself. The one that has been quietly passed down, spoken in whispers, guarded by those who understood its power. This is a version that is simple. Clear. No long phrases. No complex words. Just the voice of your heart, spoken with truth. Before you begin, take a moment. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Let your thoughts slow down. Set your intention, not with desperation, but with quiet confidence. Know what you're asking for. See it in your mind as if it's already real. Then speak. Divine Creator. I trust your wisdom. I ask with a heart open to receive. Let your will move through my life. Remove what blocks me. Reveal what is meant for me. I surrender control. I accept your perfect timing. And I thank you, even before the blessing arrives. Say it slowly. Let each line settle in your spirit. There is no need to rush. You can repeat the prayer, but only if you still feel it deeply. More words don't bring more power. Feeling brings power. Presence brings power. This prayer is not about forcing a result. It's about aligning yourself with the greater force that already knows the perfect path. You are not asking from weakness. You are asking from faith. Speak these words knowing you've been heard. Let go of the when. Let go of the how. Trust that the moment you spoke with a pure heart, the universe began to move. And now, the answer is already making its way to you. Quietly, perfectly, in its own divine time. It's important to understand something about this prayer. It's not magic. It's not a trick. It's not a quick fix to make the world bend instantly to your wishes. This prayer is a conversation with the divine. It works not because of the words alone, but because of the heart behind them. When Hanina ben Dosa prayed, he didn't pray with doubt. He didn't question whether he was worthy. He simply believed. The same is true for those who experienced miracles through Padre Pio's prayer. It was their deep sincerity, their pure faith, that opened the door. The prayer is powerful, but only when spoken with trust. Sometimes the answer shows up quickly. Other times, it takes longer. You may not even recognize it at first. It might come in a different form than what you expected. You ask for healing, and what arrives is peace. You ask for money, and what arrives is an idea. The answer doesn't always come with flashing lights. But it does come. That's why you must stay open. Be patient. The energy of this prayer doesn't stop once the words leave your lips. It continues to work behind the scenes, shaping events, guiding people, shifting situations, until the right moment. And when doubt creeps in, go back to the prayer. Not out of fear, but from trust. Say it again, not to make something happen, but to realign yourself with what's already happening. Faith is not about seeing first. It's about believing, even in the quiet. Even when nothing seems to move. That's when the real power of the prayer is working. Stay with it. Stay true. The blessing is already on its way. It really is that simple. When you bring pure intention and deep trust into your words, something begins to move, something greater than logic, stronger than doubt. These sacred prayers have crossed centuries, touched lives, and created real change in the hearts of those who believed. This prayer is not meant to be used once and forgotten. It's meant to become part of your daily life. A quiet moment each day where you reconnect with your higher self, release your fears, and invite divine guidance into your path. Even if you don't see results right away, don't stop. Keep going. Speak with your heart. Trust the process. Something is already shifting the moment you begin. Now it's your turn. Try the prayer. Say it with presence. With honesty. And then, wait. Watch what unfolds. If this prayer touches your life, even in the smallest way, share it. Let others feel this power too. And if you felt something stir inside you while watching this, give this video a like. It helps us reach more souls who need to hear these words. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel Bright Mind Within for more ancient wisdom, spiritual tools, and daily inspiration. Your miracle may be closer than you think.